Hey everybody, Omar here, the Knife Shark Guy. I'm back with part two of my continuing twin knife collection. I just want to touch base with you guys and show you the next half of my collection. I don't want to waste a lot of time, so why don't we go ahead and get into it. I'm going to try and cut this one down. So let's start off with the Kershaw Storm 1470. I can't flick it out because my thumb is killing me. It's the Kershaw Storm 1470. This is designed by Ken Onion. As you guys know, he was a premier designer back in 2010. So he was the premier designer from 1998 up to about 2010. So, yeah. This is the 1470. Steel on this guy is 14C28N. Check out the blade on that. I love that shape. Really, really nice. It's got that really cool looking swedge up there. It kind of does a swept up, almost like an elegant looking Bowie. I just love that blade shape. Really elegant, really pretty. Just fantastic overall. This is a aluminum scale frame lock piece. It's got a nice kind of springy pocket clip on it. One thing that's interesting to note about this knife is that the relief cuts on the outside. Most knives actually have it on the inside, but here they have it on the outside. Supposedly it gives you, when you're holding the knife in your hand, it gives you a direct force vector. So that it supposedly, because the knife is on the outside, you get a better grip, and it will allow the lock bar, it gives the lock bar or the better strength, so it will guarantee it won't close up on you and disengage. Supposedly that's what it does. So there you go, the 1470. This is the Kershaw Storm Big Brother 1475. Same steel, 14C28N. Designed by Ken Onion. Once again, made in the USA. This one is May of 09. That one is June of 06. Same pocket clip. Big difference between these two knives is the texture on it for grip. This one actually has what's called Tech Trek, which was very popular in the early 2000s. They used them quite a bit on some other knives. In fact, the next set of knives I'm going to show you has got that Tech Trek on it. This one doesn't have Tech Trek on it. This one's got sandpaper on it. I don't know what that's about, but it's got this diamond sandpaper type thing. Maybe they're thinking you can use that as another tool if you ever needed to sand something down and you don't have sandpaper. Get yourself a Kershaw Storm. This will double for it because that's what that is. It's sandpaper. Kershaw Storm, it's got these cyclonic looking holes on them on both the knives. Check that out. Really weird freaking design, kind of like Led Zeppelin album, I guess. Really cool though. Kershaw Storm, like they're supposed to resemble a storm. Perfect deal. And moving on to the Junkyard Dog. This is the Junkyard Dog 1720. One thing I just learned about this knife is I thought that the scales were aluminum, guys. They're not. They're titanium. Titanium scales on a budget knife. That is really very cool. This knife back in the day went for about $80. 14C28N, yeah, about $80. So $79.99 for this. Really nice knife. It has the Air Force logos on it, resembling a junkyard dog plane. It's got the model number 1720 on it. Check it out on the back. It's got all these rivets, continuing theme with the rivet theme on there. It says fuel on it and no step. Really cool. Knife was made in September of 07. Really very cool. Love it. Junkyard Dog 1. And we move on to the Junkyard Dog 2. Same knife. This one's very smooth. I love the way that pops out. Same steel. 14C28N. And the model number is 1725. This is a Galian design. I can't think of the guy's first name for some reason. This one was made in August of 07. Very rare knife to find. So that's one thing about collecting is on some of the knives that you own, or that you're trying to get a hold of, you swear they would be easy to get. You're thinking to yourself, well, it's only a Sandvik knife. It's really But because of the popularity of the knife, it's kind of hard to find on eBay and on blade farms. This is a very popular knife, believe it or not. Same theme, G10 handle, however. It feels more like cloth. Really cool. Rivets all the way around throughout the entire knife. It is a liner lock, not a frame lock like the Junkyard Dog 1. Very smooth. Runs on washers. Just a great piece. One thing about these knives, though, and also the composite blade version of this knife, which I also have, all of them seem to be kind of off-centered a bit. I don't know what that's about, but it's a little off-centered, all of them. My theory on centering, it doesn't really matter. It only actually matters the day that you buy the knife because you want it to be perfect, but after a while, don't expect your knife to stay centered because you're using the knife. So, centering is only matters up until the time you actually use it because they will go off-centered no matter what you do. Moving on, the Kershaw baby boa, excuse me. This is a cool little office knife. You carried this in the office. You would be, whoa, what is that freaking thing? That's kind of cool. And yet you can carry it in the office. No one's going to be afraid of you or anything. You're not going to kill anyone using this thing. It's too small. It is a spring-assisted piece. It has aluminum scales, that sort of ruby red color. Very cool looking. Looks almost like a ruby red snake, I guess. One of the cool things about this knife is you can actually see the torsion bar inside the knife. Check that out, which is what's responsible for the spring assist on it. It has thumb studs. My thumbs are just too big to do it, but yeah, you can do thumb studs on us. The steel on this, once again, 14C28N. No one ever thought they'd ever make it that tiny or that small. I believe on some knives, though, it was 440A was the steel on the first one, but mine is 14C28N. So later on, they switched over to 14C28N, so it's a little known fact for you. Finally, my final piece in this show here, the Kershaw Boa, Big Brother. DLC coded. This knife, I can't remember who the designer is for this knife. I think it's Ken Onion. Yes, it is Ken Onion. There you go. Once again, Ken Onion, was the designer. He designed, I'm going to say, about 65% of Kershaw's knives between 1998 and 2010. In fact, when they opened up ZT, the 350 series was all Ken Onion knives, straight down the line. So, and then he left Zero Tolerance / Kershaw at the very beginning of its introduction, just took off and left for CRKT. This knife is DLC coated. The steel on it is S30V steel. Model number 1580. Steel is S30V. They made this knife in 3 different versions. There's another black version of this knife running around in S30V. There's another one running around in S60V. And then there's the 440V version of it in multicolored. Kind of looks like a Joker knife, I guess. It's multicolored, blue and pink and black and a little bit of yellow in there. All these weird colors in it. Really cool looking. I'll be showing you that knife at a later date, which actually I think I did. If you want to check that out, there's a video on that knife. This knife went for... Gosh, yeah, I think this knife went for right around $149.99 back in the day. It was one of the high-end knives because of the S30V steel on it. It's got a lock on the back of it right there, so you can't really pop it open. Interesting thing about the thumb stud, they only put one thumb stud on one side, so technically it's a right-handed knife. But here's the good news, you can make it a left-handed knife because you can take the pocket clip and move it over to this side over here, and then you can take the thumb stud right there, unscrew it, and switch it over to this side so that the thumb stud is sticking up on this side, and the screw is on the bottom. So you could do that if you wanted to. So that's a possibility. One of the interesting things about this knife is, you can, if you do it right, you can actually middle finger flick it. It is a spring assist, not a very strong spring assist. Really fun knife. Aluminum scales also. It's got a G10 backspacer on it. Same as Junkyard Dog, G10 backspacer on that as well. So there you have it. Part 2 of my twin knife collection. I will continue this at a later date. So I will catch you guys next time. This is Omar the Knife Shark Guy signing off. I made this one a little bit shorter, hoping you'll find one of these puppies in your collection, and hopefully I hope you find one of these pieces of sharp art in your collection. Once again, thanks so much for watching. This is Omar the Knife Shark Guy. Keep commenting, keep subscribing. I really want to hear your comments. I have 116 subscribers. I'm so happy about that. I have not been on for very long, only for about maybe 5 months, I think, 5-6 months now. I've been doing my channel, so I hope to gain more watchers, more viewers. I hope to get better at this deal because I'm really enjoying it. Onward with my collection. So I'll talk to you guys later. This is Omar the Knife Shark Guy signing off, and God bless you. Have a good evening.